trade. Luka Dončić, maybe the biggest trade in the history of the NBA. We still have to discuss it, but now I can discuss it from a more level head.
Not a fan.
Shady taught me how to woosah. Shady taught me how to woosah. He did.
Nah, get your bouncer up, man.
He taught me how to woosah. That's Eagles Hall of Famer LeSean Shady McCoy. That's James Jones on the far end, and to the right, Chase Daniel. Top of the morning to all of you all. Top of the morning to all of you. Shady, I was thinking this. I was at my agency yesterday, and I ran into the person most in the know of this Luka Dončić-Anthony Davis name. I won't say his name, but he's very rich. No pun intended. Pun intended. So I ran into him yesterday and was just doing some talking about this whole trade. And I had the thought, Shady, what would it take, now that this trade has kind of subsided, the shock value of it, what would it take for the Mavericks to actually win the Luka AD trade? Because they look foolish right now.
With these next 3 years, if the Mavs can pull it off and go to either Western Conference Finals or a Finals, I think the fans will be okay with that, because that's everywhere that Luka took you, right? And you're not spending as much money. I think if you can do that, you can add some pieces to this roster. I mean, listen, nobody likes this deal. Nobody likes this trade, right? Luka is a superstar, box office type player, top 3 in my opinion. But the fans stay loyal to the franchise. That's how it works. Right now, they're mad, they're upset, they're crying, they're complaining, they're tweeting, they're Xing, they're Instagramming, all that. But when they start winning games, when they start rolling, right, and they start seeing AD block shots, get dunks, alley hoops from Kyrie to AD, and they start making some mad, they start winning, and they get to the playoffs, they start winning again, the fans are like, okay, well, Luka, we love you still, but our team is doing well. So for this thing to work out well, I think in these next 3 years, they got to accomplish 2 of them things. Western Conference Finals, not even 3 years, 2 years. Western Conference Finals or a Finals. It's the same place where Luka took them. That's a chance to win it all.
That's well said. I think 2 things as well. I'm going to speak from a Dallas native. I don't think it's those 2 things, but I do think it's 2 things. Here is the only way I, as a born and bred Mavs fan, will be okay with this Luka Dončić trade. If the Mavs go on to win more championships than Luka during the course of Luka's career. That's the first thing. And Luka cannot retire as a top 15 player. Because if Luka retires as a top 15 player, and top 15 kind of based upon where that subjective cutoff is really 2 MVPs and a finals MVP or so. Luka can't retire as one of those all-time greats. If he retires as an all-time great, I, as a Mavericks fan, will always think to myself, dang, we traded away an all-time great. Now, here is why I do not think the Mavericks have any plausible chance of winning the trade. Because if you look at some of the historical greats, they got 4 All-NBAs by the time they're 25.
Yep.
Look at what they did after 25. Jordan still won 6 chips and 4 MVPs. Bron won 4 chips and 2 MVPs. Duncan won 4 chips and an MVP. Kobe won 2 chips and a sole MVP. And KD won 2 chips. So what I'm telling y'all is Luka is still destined for anywhere from 2 chips and no MVPs to 6 chips and 4 MVPs, because that is what the company that Luka has kept achieved after they turned 25. And Luka achieved more than most of them prior to 25. So I do not see a realistic chance that the Mavericks actually can win this trade. But the only way they can do it, they got to win more chips than Luka does.
Look, I'm a Mavs fan, too, for life. Like, Reunion Arena, like, I ride and die with them. They're the only team I follow really in the NBA. So when the news of Luka getting traded, it hit home for me because my son, Preston, he has a Luka Dončić jersey for the Mavericks. Okay, that's a relic now. And so I don't think they can win the trade no matter what happens. Like, I think it'll eventually come down to who wins more championships. But even in the short term, like, I don't think people understand the shock and awe of what Dallas fans are going through right now. Like, maybe if they win a title within 2 years, that's great. But you have Kyrie, who's 33. It feels like he's been in the league forever. You have 80, who's 32. He's brilliant. He's missed 27% of the games in his career in the last 6.5 seasons. And then Klay, who's 35. So they might have a run together of 2 to 3 years. Luka's 25 years old. He's the next statue player of the Lakers, dude. Like, he's going to end up in a top 15 greatest. I truly believe that based on how he started his career.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that gives me a little bit of solace, and I'm not really a Lakers fan, is that it's no guarantee that the Lakers win a title with Luka, because Luka got us there, but then got smoked in the finals 4-1 by the Celtics, right? Like, eventually, maybe they build it up like that. But there have been complaints about the conditioning. There have been complaints about the defense. We don't know, like, that's going to change. Maybe he gets around LeBron for his last 2 years, and he's like, Learn something. Yeah. How to take care of your body. I spend $3 or $4 million a year on my body. Luka, maybe he comes next year to training camp, he's 230 instead of 260, and he's chiseled. You never know that, right? But as a Dallas fan, I don't think there's any stretch of imagination where the Mavs have won this trade. You traded away one of the greatest players in this little generation that we have right now.
I agree with Chase. There's nothing. There's nothing that they can do. Even if they win a championship, you're talking about a dude that sells out the arena year in and year out. Like, hey, basketball season starting. Hey, man, we going to watch Luka. Mm-hmm. Like, that's gone. So if you win a championship, you are going to have to watch Luka for the next 10 years go to work. Because that's all we've seen Luka do in his career right now is go to work. All NBA after all NBA after all NBA after all NBA. Since he's been in the NBA, took you to the Western Conference Finals, took you to the finals. There's nothing they can do. For the next 10 years, you are going to have to watch Luka. For a couple years, you're going to have to watch Luka and LeBron. But for the next 10 years, they are going to put some pieces around Luka in L.A. Yeah. And you are going to have to watch Luka go to work. Do you know every time Luka goes for 30 and 10, how mad these Dallas fans is going to be?
I'm already mad.
You understand what I'm saying? They're not going to be worried about AD doing alley-oops and all that type of stuff. They are going to be upset that we let this dude leave our franchise. I was supposed to have a statue 3 feet away from Dirk, so when we come to the Dallas arena, we take pictures in front of it. That is gone now. And they're going to have to watch that for the next 10 years. In my humble opinion, Shady, I know you disagree, but championship or not, they can't win this.
That doesn't make sense, though. Like, y'all my brothers, so I can give y'all the hard love, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all talking like fans. No. Y'all talking like fans that's hurt. Oh, you traded my brother. That's how y'all talking. You sitting up here telling us it don't matter how many championships they win, it's a bad trade?
No, not how
that
many
make sense? Listen, I think Luka's a phenomenal player, one of the best in this league. You can't sit up and tell me that when they traded him, right, it's a bad deal, for sure. We know that.
No doubt.
You said, y'all all three said, if they win a championship in the next 3 years, that the Mavs can't win that trade?
They got to win more than Luka. That's where I'm at with it. They have to win more than Luka.
Real quick.
If the Mavs win 1, Shady, and Luka goes on to win 4, as a Mavericks fan, he didn't win that trade.
But what I'm saying is, like, sports is year to year. I don't know if Luka's going to be doing this in 10 years.
I think so.
We don't know. I know he don't take care of his body. I know that he's a great player, but eventually we break down if you don't take care of your body. There's a lot of great players that had great starts because they're really good, but if you don't take care of your body, you won't be the LeBron James, the Kobe Bryant, the Michael Jordan. You don't get there.
Of course.
Right? So I live in the moment right now, today. And I'm saying today, if the Mavs the next 2 years goes to the finals, to the Western Conference Finals, or they win a championship, they don't win the trade.
They're going to score. How are they going to score?
Not even how.
Not even that.
Shady's saying,
what are we talking about?
Here's why I'll say no. Because
they got scores.
Think about it. Even in this generation, I remember when the Lakers. I remember when the Lakers traded away Shaquille O'Neal.
Cool.
Y'all remember
Let's talk about this.
Shaq went and won. Bomb. He went and won quick. He went and won in Miami 2 years later. Bomb. Got it done.
So stop right there. So when he did that, who you thought won the trade?
At that point in time, Shaq.
Okay, all right, okay.
Kobe was trying to figure it out. Kobe and the Lakers, they was muddling. I was all Western Conference back then. But you have enough knowledge to know how it really go. Because when Kobe back, Jordan went back to back and ended up with 5 of them things, and Shaq retired with 4 of them things, and Shaq ended up finishing his career as the great Shaquille O'Neal, obviously, no disrespect. Finished his career as a journeyman. I think he ended up playing on 8 or so teams, Phoenix Suns, Boston Celtics, Cleveland Cavaliers. What I'm suggesting is, obviously, the Lakers and obviously Kobe, God rest his soul, ended up netting positive on that trade. Fair. We thought Shaq won because Shaq won quickly. So even if the Mavericks win 1 chip next year or this year, in the event Luka goes on to win 1 to 2 or 3, it's the same parallel.
No. But I'm saying that's a great point, right? But I can't put everybody in Kobe Bryant's level.
Of course not.
So talent-wise, maybe him and Luka's the same, but the mental part.
Oh, no.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just leave Kobe out of this because I'm a Kobe nut. All right?
Leave him over
All
there.
I'm saying is,
he's different.
To his point, he's right? I guess the long journey of it, But tomorrow ain't guaranteed, dog.
Of course not.
All right, so what I'm saying is, if this Mavs team in the next 2 years, because I don't think the Lakers is winning the next 2 years.
No.
They got, when Bron leaves and they can figure out how to make everything about Luka to be different. Anyway, but I'm saying right now today, if the Mavs in the next 2 years win a championship or go to Western Conference Finals or even the finals, they're winning that trade right now.
How about this, though? Real quick.
Let me hit him in his heart. Here's why I'm so short-sighted. Because, again, both of these teams are winners. We will talk about these teams ad nauseum for the next 4 days. Eagles, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Current Chiefs head coach, Andy Reid. former Eagles head coach Andy Reid. If I'm not mistaken, the Eagles won a Super Bowl before Andy Reid did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eagles in 2017 won a Super Bowl with Doug Peterson.
Yeah. No
doubt.
But Andy went ahead and won in 19, got shady his first one, shout out Andy Reid, and is now looking at going back to back. So you could have suggested in 2017, shout out to the Eagles.
That's what I like, though.
But Andy Reid
Right.
is looking like he won the parting of ways.
But you speak on it like it's easy to do.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like you speak on it, it's like, oh, this it can happen. I mean, like
It can.
The Eagles
but we
have also been back to two.
I gotta see that.
Really quick, though.
Andy Reid is different, right? I see him.
Luka's different, 2-5.
And he
Luka's
is,
different.
and he is, right? I just need to see it. That's all. So, I like winning now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's playing and winning
No
for the
doubt.
future. And Luka could do it because Luka is that special. But I gotta go with what's going on
So
now.
really quick, because the odds say that it's going to go this way. The odds say it's going to go Luka playing 10 years of elite basketball, no championships. Because he ain't shown us he can win one yet.
That's exactly what I
No, it's
said.
true facts. He's
yet.
shown us he
Not
can play
yet.
elite
Not
basketball
yet.
and not win a championship yet.
That's not what the odds say, but
That is what the odds say. He's been in the league for
I
5, 6
actually
years. He
agree with
ain't
that.
won one.
LeBron hadn't won one in his first 5 to 6. Jordan hadn't won one in his first 5 to 6. The odds don't suggest that. The odds suggest you get better.
And if you
suggest
ask,
that they're not
and
them
if you
type
ask,
players?
and if you asked the year after that they gonna win a championship, you wouldn't have said yeah. You would have said no because they
I would
ain't
have said
showed you.
eventually, though, James. You know
I'm
this.
not saying eventually he can't do it. I'm just saying right now we're saying like if he goes to 3-4 championships, he ain't showed us that, Acho. He ain't Kobe, Acho. He not
MJ.
Bron, Acho. He not MJ, Acho.
We can't say
Hold on.
this.
Yes, we
MJ's
can.
first
Yes, we
6, he
can.
hadn't had no chips.
So really quick though.
He
Really
had no chips. Am I lying?
You're not lying. You're telling the truth. But really quick, though,
said, "Am I lying?"
if they win a championship and Luka plays 10 years of elite basketball, all NBA, and they don't win a championship in LA, but the Mavs win a championship and they have 10 bad years, who wins the trade?
One championship.
Because I think that's more
championship.
realistic. Because he has not shown. When Shaq left, they've been to championships. You understand what I'm saying?
think the person with the
so we
championship-
can see we've seen Kobe in the championship,
That's why
and
you
we
do
know
it.
Kobe and Luka
You don't do it
different.
for all
So
NBA.
my thing is, I think it's more realistic to say he'll have 10 All NBA seasons and might not win a chip. The Mavs might get a chip. So what would you rather take, a championship and 10 average years, or 10 special seasons
Gotta
from
win a
Luka?
chip,
But
though.
here's why I vehemently disagree with that. The odds actually suggest if you keep the great player, assuming he is as great as we think he is.
He is great.
If you keep him around long enough, Jokic, you'll win a chip. Giannis, you'll win a chip. The odds actually suggested the great player, if they stay there long enough, Aaron Rodgers, you'll win a chip. That's what the odds actually suggest. Not, well, you haven't won it in your first 5, so you'll never win it. It actually suggests your career arc will do this. If you stay here and you stay at an elite level, the chip will come to you.
So since you keep comparing players and all that, right? Let me do some comparison though, because when I watch the Kobe's, right, young and old, I can see some MJ in him. Like, oh, okay, I see him getting better and better attitude, right? He gonna make sure we get it right. When I watch Luka, I see a phenomenal, great offensive player like James Harden though.
True fact.
Yeah.
Right? We ain't gonna play no defense. We ain't gonna hustle. We're gonna do but one-on-one stuff, dribble, right? Open guy, hit him here and there. But I'm gonna shoot this ball. So when I watch Luka, I look at a great offensive weapon. But when I look at MJ and them dudes, even Giannis, I look at dudes like a different type of dog on both sides of the court. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. LeBron James, I'm gonna spend $10 million for my bike so I make sure I get them wins. I get the championships.
Yes.
When I look at Luka, I don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't see for example, because I've been looking into this thing, right? Because, like, I try to take my heart out of it because when I seen the trade, I was so mad.
Yeah.
Because I hate when organizations trade great players. You know what I mean? Because you play with this dude's life. But then when I listen to what the GM was saying, some of the coaching and all that, and it's like, they said he's a young player that had great success, took her team to the finals, West Conference Finals.
Yeah.
They said, but in the finals, he was a liability on defense, not hustling, et cetera. He had a knee injury a little bit, right? Due to not take care of his body. They say, you know what? He gonna change because he's so young, right? Because the young guys like the Kobe's and the Jordans and LeBrons, when they lost in defeat, they did whatever it took to get better to that top and get over that hump.
No question.
But when you watch Luka, I don't see that. Because
He ain't showed us that.
He's
I
only
see.
25.
But to me, right, Luka looks the same every year. Great offensively.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? He looks the same.
Here's why I must again disagree with you, 2-5,
Less
is this.
effort.
Like, we've seen Luka and the Mavericks do this.
Right.
Right.
Regardless of how it looks. Remember, Luka's first year as a rookie, the Mavericks were terrible. Luka wasn't really doing nothing. Then by Luka's second year, I think they missed the playoffs. Luka's third year, now he goes to the Clippers. I think he gets bounced. By Luka's fifth year, I think he beats the Suns and he gets to the Western Conference
Lost
Finals.
to Warriors.
Then by last year, he goes to the finals. So Shady, we're seeing this.
But does he
Now,
look? Does he look the same? All these years, does he look the same?
the results look different. The results
I didn't ask you results. I asked you.
But here's why it's results.
Okay, don't answer my question. Go.
Okay, does he look the same?
results
Sometimes you see skinny Luka, and sometimes you don't. Skinny Luka is literally a thing. It's not a thing for no reason. Stereotypes have to some degree truth. So Shady is not wrong. But what I care about, and you more than anybody care about results. The way you carry the ball, it looks different, but you don't fumble. So the way Luka is on the court, yeah, I understand how you're saying like Luka still looks like a defensive liability, but the defensive liability.
It's weird, though. He don't hustle.
You're talking about his effort.
You can't be the star player. You keep trying to compare me and him because I guess we was different and all that, but like I had a lot of yards. That was my thing. I'm trying to run this ball, man. I'm trying to get catches. I'm trying to score. But if I got a block, I'm a block. You get what I'm saying?
1,000%.
So let's translate that to basketball. Yo, I'm a scorer. I'm Luka. I'm doing all this passing, no looks, alley hoops. I'm shooting the ball, threes and all that. We got 30 points in the first half. But when it's time for me to hustle in the second half, I'm not. Play a little defense, I'm not. And when I watch him every single year, he looks the same. He's a phenomenal, great player for sure.
No doubt.
But what I'm saying is like, when you keep trying to compare the Jordans and the Kobe's and LeBrons, I've seen these guys, not only the results elevate, I've seen them elevate. Yeah. Did you not see that?
1,000%.
So when you try to compare these, you can't because I don't know if
You don't know what he's going to be.
I don't because I haven't seen. I don't know if Luka's going to put the extra money in or extra time in to get his body together.
first off,
I don't know if he's going to put the extra time in
hasn't
to
shown
place effort
Like,
defense. I don't know if he's going to do that.
But we've seen his game elevate.
Offensively.
Offensively, that's all he talks about. That's all he talks about.
But as a player, and I'm a Mavs fan, we have seen the same Luka, and he's elevated the team, and he's taken more. We haven't seen the effort in the defense change at all, and I think that's ultimately what the Mavs are just pissed off about because they haven't seen change from him.
But you're comprised of all of your skill sets. So, James, if we have seen him go from averaging 28 points per game to 30
He doesn't take any
points per
skill to
game
play defense,
to 33 points per game, he is elevated.
Effort, though.
He
I can be a good defender by
He
that.
has elevated his game. Now, Shady and Chase are right. I'm not disagreeing at all. Luka has not elevated his defensive game enough.
For effort.
Now, I would also suggest that when you're putting up 35 points per game in the playoffs and 33 points per game in the regular season, you might be a little bit more fatigued. You might just be a little bit more fatigued. I would suggest
so
that.
really quick,
but you're right.
Can I say this?
No, before you go, because you're not getting away with that. Because he ain't the only guy to be averaging 30s in the playoffs and all that, right?
He had the highest.
I'm going to say it again. He's not the only guy to average.
in the history of the playoffs.
Okay, because I've seen Jordan not only give you them 30s and all that, I'm going to guard one of your top scorers down here.
so-
Kobe.
So,
Do I got to go with him?
so can we stop?
All right.
Can we stop it right there too?
I know my ball, dog.
Because right now I feel like we're giving Luka too much credit because he's not them.
Stop.
No, hold
much
Nah,
credit?
listen
He's
to
only-
me.
he only-
Listen,
No, it's an offense.
listen to me, man. He is not them athletically. We are
Say that.
Let me talk.
Damn, Acho.
Y'all cut me off. He is not them athletically. So on the defensive side of the ball, it's a different athletic ability. We asking Luka to do something he can't do. Luka can't stay in front of Tatum or Jaylen Brown. He's not athletically built like that.
He's not. He can't.
No, and I understand effort-wise, sometimes you want him to look like he's playing hard. Steph was terrible at defense, one-on-one defense, but he looked like he looked like he tried. I understand that. But athletically, Luka is not Kobe Bean Bryant or Michael
Can you
Jordan.
control your diet? Can you control
You can't control your quick twitch. You can't control your
you
quick
can
twitch
control
fibers.
your weight. You can control your diet. You can control your conditioning. The
James.
Mavs fired in back-to-back years their strength and conditioning coach because they sided with Luka because Luka didn't want to work out.
At the end of
and
the
they
day,
said something's going to change. If not, we're going to change
diet
for you.
or not, I can never run a 4.4.
He can be more athletic.
I had a 5.7% body
Acho,
fat.
if you were 300 pounds right now,
I wouldn't run a 4.4.
if you were 300 pounds right now,
4.65.
if you were 300 pounds right now and you get down to
220,
25, you're going to be faster and quicker,
course.
even regardless of it, at 300.
Here's why I agree.
Luka's 265.
Let me
dog.
agree with James. Can I agree with James?
Thank you.
Anybody agree with James yet? Let me agree with my dog James real quick, Tupac. Let me agree with my dog. Y'all know me, track my first love. And this is a athleticism conversation. Track coaches, Olympic track coaches have told me and have told others, I can make you faster. I can't make you fast. To James's point, Luka is not athletic. He's just not. And so We can talk about diet and all that. The quick twitch fibers, you can't do nothing about that. That's God-given. Shady wasn't cut on a dime because he was on a ladder.
Yo.
You can make
No, Shady was cut on a
I got
dime
it.
because Shady was born cutting on dimes. Ain't no empty shuffles.
Let's do the basketball.
Ain't no in and outs.
I got
Ain't no Shady could just cut on a dime because he can cut on a dime. Good job.
Hey, real, so wait, so let's keep it basketball. So you brought up Steph Curry. That's my favorite player, right? We would say that on defense is his worst part of the game, right?
Liability.
So if y'all, I'm gonna take it back a little bit, right? Because you know I know I'm into this
me
basketball
back
thing.
too far.
So when they
Come
was
on
playing the Cavs, all them that spare moment where they kept going back and forth. What was the Cavs' game plan on offense?
Attacking stuff.
Attack Steph.
Right. They made all these pick and rolls to get this to get to Steph. If you watch Steph play, he's running from the screens back and forth because I don't want to get the change off, right? That's called effort. I'm trying my best. He can't guard them dudes, Tatum and them dudes, but I did watch him beat them in the finals, right? He plays some type of defense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go another thing. You keep bringing up Michael Jordan, which I just hate it, right? Because Jordan averaged more points than Luka. I don't know if you know that in playoffs. I don't know if you know that or not, okay? So if you know that, cool.
He's number one, Luka's number two.
Right. So look. Michael Jordan lost to what team 3 times in the playoffs? The Pistons. He couldn't get past them, right? Yeah. What did he do? That fourth year, what did he do? He got in that weight room. They keep beating me up. Yeah. They beat me up every single game. The Jordan rule, you remember that?
Of course.
He come in his lane, you whoop his tail. Cool. I'm complaining about this and third. My team would complain about it. You know what? I'm done with all that.
Done with all.
I'm gonna put an extra 10 pounds on a muscle. And then when I seen them boys for the 4th time, do you know what happened?
Beat him.
They beat him. So what I'm telling you, Acho, is I hear what you're saying. Maybe you can't, the way you diet or the way you take your body, you might can't run a 4.4, but if you say you run a 4.7, maybe you can run a 4.7 every single play, though.
Get in better shape.
And my thing is, when you look at Michael Jordan, he couldn't beat them dudes. So what did he do? He got that mentality and got in that gym, dog. Put that 10
Luka
pounds
hasn't
on.
shown that in 6 years.
All I'm saying is Luka don't show me that. When I watch Luka, he's a phenomenal offensive player. Yeah. But his game hasn't changed for me. I don't see no effort. I don't see no defense. I can't be a true fan to the sport and just defer because he's a great player. Yeah. Offensively, he's one of the greatest I've ever seen. Yeah. But, dog, eventually, you got to step your game up like those other greats did.
And you can't just flip the switch neither, though.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.